Watu wa roadshow, let's gather here, let's talk. So guys, there's a very common behavior that we normally have tukienda ma road test, tukienda ma roadshow. So today I happen to have done a pre-purchase inspection to a client. Man, what I noted on that vehicle rang a bell. I said I should come and share with you this story. So after doing my pre-purchase inspection on that vehicle, the vehicle was okay. It was a Harrier, this new model, but now it's a KDJ. But the person who was selling that vehicle to my client was not that honest, that client. But because the client has trust on Ideal Loss Assessors, they just hollered. Ideal Loss Assessor, we responded immediately. So guys, after doing an inspection on that vehicle, I noted the seller of that vehicle had arrested. The other components were okay, suspension system okay, the transmission, the engine system, everything was okay. The vehicle looked perfect. So after road test and inserting the launch machine, that is the diagnosing machine, all the errors came back, but the check engine was okay, was not there. I can't lie. Because now that is those are our strength. We don't give fault information. So the check engine light was not on, but there was a light. This airbag light was displaying. After running that vehicle for around 10 kilometers, that light of airbag came. So this one alerted me to be a bit more thorough on the undercarriage of that vehicle, because the frontal part of it, I checked the nose cut was, once you get note a vehicle, the class of that vehicle has an airbag light. What comes to your mind, if you are that professional, you're in this field, this is what you do every day, that rang my head, my brain, that this vehicle must have had a collision or a carriage damage. So I went to the front, the radiator panels, and checking all the chassis ends. Everything was intact. So I ruled off the issue of a nose cut replacement in case that vehicle had initially been involved in a frontal damage. So it wasn't. Then on raising that vehicle, I noted that there was a very heavy dent on the engine cradle point. So that means that vehicle had at some point maybe hit a very deep pothole or a rock. You can overrun a rock, then the dashboard, the SRS light, the airbag light deploys. So that one sent me to go and check. After checking, I noted that the vehicle maybe some point had an undercarriage damage or impact. So having done that, and the airbag was there, the airbag light was there, I advised my client. You see, my main job while doing pre-purchase inspection is to give the client the correct and the state of that vehicle as it is before they buy that vehicle. So it's upon you as a client, after I've given you all the technical and professional advice about that vehicle, it's you now to decide whether you're going to go on with the purchase of that vehicle, or you rethink about it, or such kind of information. But my purpose, my real duty there is to make sure that you have the correct information of that vehicle, the status of that vehicle as it is. So having said that, I advised the client. Of course, I did a report and I gave her the report and the information, the health report about of that vehicle. So that one brought my attention to at least come to this my social media community, niwachanue one on one. Unajua, it's very important to get to know. When I get information in the field work, I come now give you that information at is the raw bit of it, the juice part of it. So guys, it's very dangerous. Tukiwa kwa road show, when you're on a road show, maybe you are having your kamsupa there, you're having good time. You see, there's that anxiety. You're on a road test, gari unataka uipatie, uisikie gari venye na respond. But imagine now, this kind of a scenario. you're having your super your power there, then your vehicle is having such kind of an issue, and either you know or you don't know, either out of ignorance or you're not aware of that. Wewe unasema sigari yangu iko na kaka lighter, aka ka airbag lighter. These are very small, it's a minor thing. Haiwezi gari zinasonga, tuende nayo. So guys, I just came to give you a very important warning about such kind of a scenario. When you see that airbag light, there's an information that it's sending to you as a driver, as a co-driver, or as a motorist in general. So just be very cautious about that thing, because that vehicle, the light you are seeing there, if that light or the light that the airbag light there normally tells you that the safety or the safety measures in terms of airbags of that vehicle should be checked. Now, that one called me to come and discuss with you how the airbags work, the operation of those airbags and such kind of a light. So guys, when your vehicle is involved in a frontal impact or an undercarriage impact that shakes the chassis, it's normally after not all the impacts that your vehicle have, it's going automatically to deploy airbags or show that airbag light. No, there are minor impacts that not necessarily shows you that. So in this kind of a scenario, when your vehicle is involved in a frontal or undercarriage damage, then the vehicle is normally having some airbag crash sensor that are normally located on the frame of that chassis. So once that sensor detect a shock or a heavy impact, the sensor sends information to the SRS module. Or the SRS module, for those who don't know what SRS means, it's a supplemental retained system. So that information, after being sent to that SRS module, the SRS module triggers the airbag inflator unit. Airbag inflator unit is a component that normally have a nylon cushion inside it and some chemical. There's a chemical. Okay, sorry. There's a chemical inside that inflator airbag inflator component. The chemicals there are normally sodium. It's called sodium azide. So that chemical, after it has been triggered due to that impact and the information that have been sent through the SRS, the airbag crash sensor, it triggers the sodium azide chemical to explode into nitrogen. So that nitrogen is the one that fills that nylon crusher bag that you normally see, like you can see here, that crusher bag that deploys and cover your face. That crusher bag also has some safety on it. So the manufacturer also have some placed some holes. After the explosion, the nylon crusher bags deflates itself. It releases those nitrogen gas so that you are not choked or you are not suffocated with that crusher impact once the vehicle crashes or has that impact. So that is how, after that deplosion, that is when now the shock, the momentum that you are having after that impact is absorbed. So another thing, assume now you are on that road trip and now your Kamsupa has placed the legs on on top of that dashboard. The dashboard also has that airbag deployed system normally located on that. It's written, it's normally indicated there. Some vehicles are normally indicated that airbag, others don't. So that explosive deployment of those nylon crusher bags can easily break. It's enough to break your bones and everything within a split of a second. That all operation normally takes around 30 milliseconds, guys. Just 30 milliseconds. So let's be cautious while we're using this our vehicles, and starehe ni mzuri fine, but at least try to sit at a very recommended position. That is why also the vehicle has safety belts. The operation of safety belts after that crusher, they work hand in hand with the crusher unit. So they send information to that safety belt to lock so that they can hold your trunk on that seat. So you don't move because of the momentum. You don't move or go through the windscreen. That is why you know some people, when an accident happens, mtu anapitia kwa windscreen if you've not belted properly on that seat. Having said that, drivers are also not left outside. The behavior of drivers while driving, how you hold the steering. You can hold a steering at a position that is going to jeopardize or make you suffer a lot of or suffer heavily on your arms and wrists. So the recommended positions of holding a steering is 9 to 3. Like you hold it 9 to 3. Like I can show here an example. You hold it 9 to 3. Your left arm on the 9 o'clock point and 3 o'clock point. You should not hold your steering otherwise, like placing your fingers or your thumb inside the steering. With that explosive, in case of an impact, with the explosive, the explosion of that nylon crusher bag can break your fingers. So most of those people who, those driver, you had safety belt, you had safety your belt well, and during the crash, that is the nylon crusher bag deployed well, and you are not harmed, you are not injured on the face, on the trunk of your body due to that absorption of the impact, but you find your fingers or your hands are broken. That shows you did not hold, you are not holding that steering in a proper manner. Also, holding your steering with one hand at 12 o'clock point. That 12 o'clock point is the uppermost point of your steering. In case of a swift response needed, with one hand you are not going to respond that fast. So guys, try to normalize to behave properly while in a vehicle. A vehicle is a very good mode of transport, moving you from one point to another, but it also has, if you don't treat it normally, it's going to treat you abnormally, like the others. They say that we had from our good Minister of Health then by that. So guys, try to normalize to hold your steering at the 9 and 3 o'clock. So my good people, that is why I said I should come and share with you. It might look very negligible. It's something that you can say, this is a very slight thing. Sasa kujibamba nayo, si bora nimekaa kwa gari nimefunga seat belt, hata nikiweka miguu. My friend, don't do it. It seems very, very small thing, but it's going to save you your legs, it's going to save you your backbone. Like you can see in this model, that momentum force pushes you in front. So if you are not seated properly on that your seat, you can suffer a lot or very massive damages to your body. So guys, that is why I decided tukuja tuongelee hizo maneno za gari. Mimi I have never lacked something to tell you about vehicles, so that is why you should follow this page at our YouTube channel, Ideal Mwita, on all platform. YouTube Ideal Mwita, TikTok Ideal Mwita, Facebook Ideal Mwita, all platform at Ideal Mwita. So guys, that is very important. That tells you how important it is to do a pre-purchase inspection, and for that reason, Ideal Loss Assessors covers you best when it comes to such kind of incident. So guys, stay tuned. Let's be cautious while driving on the road and tufike safe where tunaenda. Kama ni road trip tujibambe turudi, lakini in case of an accident, isikuwe tunasuffer. Okay, you can't stop an accident. You can also behave well, but if it wasn't your day or it was your day, you know, hii ni mpango ya Mungu. So stay tuned, follow our page, and You'll get to know more about vehicles, guys.